Hi, my name is Chris Pancoast, or Christopher Pancoast. I am an educator. I have worked with kids for nearly 18 years in before and after school programs, both public and private sectors. And I have done years of research in the field of early childhood education. Based on my experience and what I have learned from my mentors, children learn best by doing. This means that children learn best by being engaged in activities that motivate themselves in their brain development. An example would be if children are learning about, let's say in a 5th grade class, the Boston Tea Party. Instead of just reading about it, which is good, role-playing it and role-playing out different scenarios about the Boston Tea Party will help them, them being the students, remember the material in more detail for ongoing exams or ongoing projects that they may be doing. The same goes for younger children who want to learn and explore new things in life. If a child is interested in bubbles, the best thing for them to do is play with bubbles in different ways and different textures and what have you. A good way for children to learn about their letters or their ABCs would be for a parent or teacher to have different textures available and for the kids to draw the letters in the different textures. So like A, uppercase or lowercase, B, etc., etc., etc. Children need to be able to play. That's the basic. There's been research studies about it. They need to be able to play. There was a documentary about race called Race to Nowhere. A lot of you who are education professionals, perhaps parents, have seen it. It's a local film to my town of Danville, California. And it's about how children, let's say our adolescents, children in elementary, middle school, even high school, they're in school for 7 hours a day, and then they might have extracurricular activities, and then they have to go home and have dinner, and then they have homework, and if they don't get their homework done, they get bad grades, and then if they get bad grades, they don't get to do those extracurricular activities, and it's a vicious cycle. Children need to be able to play. They can't be always overhauled, or they can't be always on the go with activity after activity after activity with no break and no time to, quote, play or do an activity that they really do enjoy doing. Play for little kids could be a play date. It could be a parent or nanny taking them to the park and letting them just play, or a parent playing ball or an activity freely with them. It could be just taking a child, it could be just going on a walk with them. It could be getting down on the floor and playing with them. The problem is that in our society, we as adults are always hustling and bustling to try and make rent, make a living, and we don't recognize and we don't spend nearly enough time, or even in some parents' case, any time with our own kids. And that's I hate to say it, but that's wrong. People have said, I've heard over and over again, that teachers see children more than parents see their own children themselves, due to this example. Children need to be able to play. Children form the foundation for their lifelong growth and development by being able to play. Through play, they are building relationships, building the verbal communicational skills that they need for communicating then and later on in life. They build their fine and gross motor development skills. They enhance their brain development. Going back a bit, fine motor skills being activities that physically exercise their small movement abilities, such as tying their shoe or pushing stuff. Gross motor skills, such as riding a truck or riding a bike, something like that. Their brain development, like I said, and just there's so many crucial skills that are built and that will help them for lifelong growth in this development that I speak of, if they are allowed to play. I call my work Why Play 60, and I know probably other people have used that phrase too, because children should be able to play for a minimum of 60 minutes a day. That's like an hour. And now my daughter, who is 2, is now saying dad, 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 dad in the background, if you could hear it. Children need to be able to play. So it just seems to be more of a complex thing. And, we all want our children to do well in life. Okay. But they should not be pressured in the process. Children will learn to meet each development goal or each developmental domain that they need to reach at their own pace. Not everybody, as we know, not everybody learns the same way either. I am an auditory and kinesthetic learner. I learn best by seeing the material on paper, and writing it down, as well as hearing it, opposed to just seeing it and not taking notes. Everybody learns at a different way, at a different pace. And really the wrong thing to do is to push people. Same thing with kids. If kids are not ready to do something and you push them to do it, then more than likely they will fall behind because they won't want to. It's not a pleasurable experience for them. They won't be excited to do whatever it is that they are being pushed to learn. Let's see. Play. For my graduate program at Sonoma State University, I wanted to create something that I could share with everybody. So I created my book called Why Play? The Role of Play in Early Childhood Development. It serves as a really good guide and resource book for parents, educators, and anyone else that may have or work with kids. I also created and organized and implement a workshop on play, which I will get into in another video. But my book is available on www.blurb.com. It's available in the iBook store on Apple, and it's available on Amazon, both as a physical and digital version on the Kindle. There are definitely, throughout my book, there are pointers that parents can try out to encourage play, because it might play is such a big concept. It's not generally specific. So there's many different components to play. Now I know I'm focusing on early childhood, but in other videos I will also focus on adolescence and adulthood, because even as an adult, it is important to take time for yourself each day and do something that you enjoy. But like I said, I will get into that in my next video. So play histories. In my book, one of the things I included, in addition to all the research and statistical evidence to why play is important, I talk about play histories. My play history, my parents, I grew up in the 1980s, and I was born in 1981, and my parents totally provided me opportunities to be able to play. I call me lucky or what, but I had many opportunities I would come home from school each day, I would have a snack, and I would either go out and play for an hour or so, and then I would come back, do my homework, and then I would go out and play more, with dinner somewhere in between that time period. It was that our society was not like it is today, whereas back then we had less violence and less concerns, and our towns and cities were more safe than they are today. So I totally understand that many kids don't get to just go out and play because there's the safety factor. Excuse me. But I would, coming home from school, I went to an elementary school in Danville, California, and from where my elementary school was, it was about half a mile to my daycare that I went to after school. And my friends and I there would be a bunch of trees and bushes and other weeds and other stuff that we could go down in between and pretend like we were spying, pretend like we were, I don't know, cops and robbers, maybe. We did that, or we would play family or stuff like that, and we would just make it up as we go, and it was fun, it was exciting, it was thrilling, to be able to go, and just climb trees and pretend like we were in a world that we weren't really in, where we could roam free and use our imaginations, which is a big part of play. So anyway, my book has more about my play history in it and other play histories. I think the most interesting thing is when I was developing my book, a lady who is a homeschool single mother in Africa contacted me and found out about my research and everything, and she was interested in contributing to my book. So I got to explore how another country implements play. And there's Reggio Emilia, there is Montessori, there is, I guess, Waldorf. There's all of these other educational beliefs and practices out there that you don't see too much about. And while I think schools are creating pacts to lower the pressure of homework and the hours of homework each week, the pressure is still there. So that's all for me right now. Please like my video and subscribe. I hope this wasn't an uninteresting video, and I will talk more about what other people would like to hear me talk about if you comment. Okay, thank you very much and have a great day.